And we've got Mr. Trenell Walker up here. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to change this. I'm going to change the screen. Yeah. Now, let me give a little testimonial from me to Trenell. We asked Trenell to come and share something that's really had an impact in his life and something that he's been going through. But about probably once or twice a month, we probably end up connecting on the phone. We have this drive time call. And I say, Trenell, how's your book going? How's the next program going? He's starting a business. He's going out and changing lives. And he asks me questions. And so he's real excited because he thinks that I'm coaching him. What he doesn't know is he is changing my life. He's given me so much, it's hard to explain. So, Trenell.
Wow.
You're up.
Well, I encourage everyone to pull out your phones and go Facebook Live because I'm going to share, not too much, but give you just enough. But I always like to start by first giving honor to God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to be in your presence. I want to thank Tom for this incredible opportunity. I got to be real with you. I'm nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs right now. I'm going to tell you a corny joke to calm my nerves and to make you smile. There was an old man that wanted to see if his wife was hard of hearing. So he got behind her and he said, "Honey, can you hear me?" No answer. So he creeped up behind her a little bit more. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go over here. Creeped up behind her a little bit more. And he said, "Honey, can you hear me?" Still no answer. So he tiptoed right behind her. He looked around. He was like, "Honey, can you hear me now?" And she responded, for the third time, "Yes." By the laughter, I can see that most of you have experienced that. But on the more serious note, well, got a lot of feedback. But on a more serious note, I want to talk to you about the emotional pain caused by the disconnection in relationships from failure to listen, understand, and pay attention to a person's personal experience. I want you to be aware of the pitfalls that ruin healthy relationships and sabotage success. When we physically experience trauma, we get put into the intensive care unit known as the ICU. When we experience emotional pain in our relationships, we get put in an emotional ICU. I'm going to share with you the importance of listening, understanding, and paying attention that is needed in your relationships. I'm going to provide you with a formula, which I like to call the Lou formula, which will help you express genuine care and intimacy in your relationships in lieu of putting your relationships into an emotional ICU. Here is my personal experience. I was raised by a beautiful, loving, hardworking mother that worked a full-time job and 3 part-time to take care of me, my older brother, and my grandmother, who actually was paralyzed on one side due to a stroke. I didn't meet my pops till I was 6 years old. The reason I call him my pops, because he popped in, he popped out of my life. He was what you call a shade tree mechanic. He fixed the cars that most people couldn't take to the dealership because they couldn't afford it. He worked 7 days a week, from dawn to dusk. He never spent any time with me. This hurt immensely. It put me in an emotional ICU. Regardless of the situation, I still love him. And the reason I stopped staying with him when I was 14 years old? Because I experienced a tragic accident, playing the game I love, which resulted in paralysis from the neck down. Left me in this wheelchair and isolated at home. I'm still walking and overcoming obstacles despite being in this chair, and you can really check out my story, the real story, by checking out Walker documentary. A lot of my friends couldn't really stand seeing me like this, so they didn't come around much. The emotional pain from isolation and loneliness deepened. Now raise your hand if you have never experienced isolation and loneliness. I thought I was alone until I met a friend that had been married for 25 years. She opened up about the emotional pain and how she felt like she was in emotional ICU because her husband had emotionally neglected her. He was a great provider. They had a great lifestyle. They had nice cars. They had nice houses, but he was emotionally absent. All she thirsted for was that intimacy they once shared. I'm going to give you the Lou formula that will help you express genuine care and intimacy in lieu of putting your relationships into an emotional ICU. And here's the formula. L times U times E equals intimacy. The L is for listen. The U is for understand. The E is for experience, which equals in to me see. Listen. Be swift to listen to the other person's point of view. Mark Twain said, if we were meant to talk more than listen, we would have two tongues in one ear. James 1:19 says, be swift to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. And this leads us to understand. Seek first to understand a person's feeling and validate, not fix. I learned this from the queens in my life. Get out of your feelings and put on the feelings of the other person and communicate by saying, so it sounds like you feel. And this leads us to experience. Brene Brown said, there can be no intimacy without vulnerability. And we've all heard this quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and Mr. Ziglar said, about them. All of this together equals intimacy. In, to, me, see. And I learned this from Ayanna Van Zant, which involves mutual sharing and caring. As Zio Sears, we've been taught that people do business with those they know, like, and trust. Howard frequently says that all of life and business is about relationships. Applying the Lou formula to your relationships will help you be, do, and have more in life. It will also help you achieve your personal and professional goals of success which you desire. But more importantly, the Lou formula will help you, and all of you, express the genuine care and intimacy in your relationships in lieu of putting them in an emotional ICU. So now, when you look at someone using this formula, you can look at them and truly say, I see you. So have a positive effect. So you and all of you may empower generations. Thank you, Tom. Oh, thank you.
Trenell, that was awesome. You did something I haven't heard you do before.
What's that?
I'd never connected your name, Walker, with Walker.
Yeah, I'm grateful for Andy. Like I said, I'm grateful, he brought that to my attention, and I'm grateful for Kristen. She, helped me break everything down. I'm grateful for you. And like I said, we are a family, we're a community, because the documentary that John Rouse, helped be the executive producer. Andy, he did the whole, I'm telling you, it's powerful. I mean, you can ask Tom. Tom has seen it.
It's unbelievable.
I'm not sure how. As of right now, we're waiting for the Ziglar organization to release it. I really can't give y'all a link because we trying to wait for the Ziglar organization to release it. But again, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all's support. Y'all poured into me, which has allowed me to pour back in you, because we sharpen each other like iron sharpens iron. And hey, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Trenell Walker.